Chat. Hold on. We're making sure we're good, man, because this is absurd. We gotta make sure. All right. Chat. What is good? Welcome. We're making sure we're good. Welcome. Welcome all. I appreciate y'all tuning in as always. Just wanted to take a couple of chances to first start off with the Shedeur stuff. You know what I mean? We gotta start with the Shedeur way, the Shedeur Sanders stuff, because I think it's super important, and arguably the biggest piece of this is talking about how it's an opportunity. I think that at the end of the day, Shedeur's got a lot of chances. So we really have to kind of consider everything that he's done, everything that he's doing and gone through. I got to be honest with you though. How are we sitting here saying that the most wide receivers got drafted from Colorado and the quarterback is not good enough to be where he's at? Let's just, excuse me, can we talk about this? I don't get it. I really don't understand how we're not a little bit more aligned on that. But let's just sit down and talk, right? So we've got an interesting perspective here. We've got, and this website, I'm just picking this because it's got some interesting points, but I don't really like some of these points, but they bring up some decent points here. And I just wanted to kind of start with this because I think it's an important part of the conversation. I think a lot of people are going to sit here and say he didn't perform well. He didn't deserve to be as high as he was. Everybody was hyping him up. Everybody was sitting there getting after him. Stop. Let's talk. Arguably, confidence, don't let my confidence irritate you. That's not my problem. Like Deion Sanders says all the time. That ain't the reality of the situation, seemingly. And what makes me more upset is people are too afraid to put their name behind anything. So let's just consider the fact that we have a wide variety of different approaches from different people. But arguably, what he does in the room, what he does in the tape room, 95% of people coming out of college are not ready for NFL caliber style of film study, NFL style of, breaking down plays, calling offenses. And Shedeur probably should have been a higher level than majority of people. I mean, arguably, just because his dad, the staff around him, Pat Shermer. But it's seemingly that's not the case. So I don't know if I agree with that, but his play should speak for itself. He should be above everybody else that got drafted before him. Now, let's talk about one thing, because I did see him at a strip club. I don't know, strip club. I don't know how that necessarily works. My apologies. But he was there with $1 million in cash, supposedly. Photos, images coming out of him on Twitter. And after getting drafted, and I got to be honest with you, not a great look. When the fifth round comes around, obviously you got an opportunity. But take that and let's start churning, because I got to be honest with you, I was mad for him. I'm sitting here and I'm like, this is bullshit, man. I'm watching this guy fall down the ladder, and I'm getting upset. So when I see him go to the club with $1 million in cash or something, I just gotta be honest with you. not the right picture to be sending right off the bat. I get it, you got to celebrate your wins, but he handled pretty much everything else correctly. He responded with like that approach of, hey, it is what it is, and the prank call was devious and very, very not okay. So I'm glad that the NFL's taking action. Imagine being that kid, Shedeur. I apologize. That kid did not deserve to be getting prank calls on draft day. That's a big moment in your life, and for somebody to try to make it a clip and make it funny, especially somebody's son whose dad's a coach. Let me tell you something. We're getting disciplined, and somebody could say that's wrong, but Buddy needs to pay half of that. Take that college tuition, whatever he's making, interest, he's paying it back. So just wanted to go ahead and kind of point that out. I think there's a lot to talk about here, but Shedeur's got an opportunity. He doesn't have the pressure like everybody else does comparatively. I think he's doing a fantastic job right now working out there. I think that he's got a great situation for all things considered. He landed in an area where arguably, Dylan, he beats out Dylan Gabriel, he beats out Kenny Pickett, and Deshaun Watson's not playing. And Flacco probably plays half the season. Shedeur gets to learn under him, gets to come out. The expectation probably won't be, Super Bowl, but that's the best part. Is it's a learning environment. It's a growing environment. Obviously, he wants to win, and I want him to win. So we'll just kind of start there. But I got a couple of things to kind of point out. Now, obviously, this website, I have no idea who these people are that are writing this, but they suck at their job, because it was pretty bad. But I did want to go ahead and kind of talk about some things. Right, we got plenty of teams getting on him. 32 teams pass on him several times. But I really wanted to kind of highlight, what Chad Ochocinco said, and it was, you're never bigger than the program. I also wanted to kind of highlight the fact that this is one of those situations where I think a lot of owners were really kind of trying to highlight the fact that you don't want your backup quarterback be in the spotlight. And I don't necessarily disagree with that. I understand you want the focus to be on the team, you want the focus to be on the program as a whole, and the starters, not the guy behind, because that paints the wrong narrative. It paints, the attention isn't on the direct at hand situation, it's on the overall program. Now, I don't know how everything's going to go. You've had the past 4-5-ish years, so right around Dion, Bucky, the cameras, the lights, the shining, it'll be an adjustment for sure, I think, because Bucky's not going to be allowed in the facility. He's not going to be able to have practice stuff being filmed. It's just not going to happen. So I think it'll be an adjustment for Shedeur to not have, all that camera. But I also think it'll be a good thing. I think it's going to allow him to work on his craft and work a little bit better. So that was kind of one point that I wanted to talk about here with the Chad Ochocinco thing. These guys are, whoever this is, not a great. Don't go read that. That's all I gotta say. But what I did want to go ahead and kind of highlight from this is, I think a lot of teams were really stuck on this persona. And I don't necessarily understand why, because you have people like Johnny Manziel, Baker Mayfield, and plenty of other people who not only have issues with ego, but off the field stuff. And that's where I just have the hard time understanding, like, where was the message here? Was it Shedeur, you're not actually good enough, or Shedeur, we just want to send you a clear statement of your bullshit isn't going to fly here. Because that's what it felt like to me, right? It was clearly evident that it wasn't about just talent. It was about this whole vibrato of who you are and what you do. And that to me just rubs me the wrong way, because there are so many people in the NFL that have that the exact same ego, if not arguably worse, with a history off the field. So it just mind boggles me. So I just kind of wanted to talk about this point of, it doesn't make sense to me. It arguably shouldn't be a deciding factor of why, why you gotta make this a personal statement from the NFL. I genuinely don't agree with anything that has been done. This has never happened, and nor should it have, especially when you have ESPN analysts and other analysts being like, he's a first-round draft pick. It surprises me. So anyway, I just wanted to kind of talk about this briefly. I know it's probably been a little bit, so I just wanted to talk about this. And then, I just wanted to talk about the Shedeur and Cam Newton part, because I think this is important. Lead with work, not with clout. I think he took the persona of a DB, not a QB. As a DB, you're able to do certain things. You could speak loud and be rambunctious and bravado. As a quarterback, remember, you are the CEO of the franchise. I just want to kind of highlight, I don't know if I fully agree with that. Now, obviously, Cam Newton, fantastic player in the NFL, and he's able to say what he wants to, because he's been in this position. From my perspective, though, I mean, you could argue that Cam Newton's got kind of an ego. You can argue that a majority of quarterbacks, you have to, because if you make a bad throw, you make a bad pass, that's arguable on you, yes, but it's also that ego that gets you to that level of, I'm the best, I'm the greatest to ever do this. Like, you wake up every day and have that mindset, you're going to be better. Yes, sure, we're sitting there talking about, positionally ego, but that doesn't make sense to me, because arguably it should be the quarterback that has the mindset of being bold, ego-driven to an extent. Yeah, you got to have some poise. Sure, everybody would ideally like Travis Hunter's ego, because that man he's just silly, goofy himself. And I also think Shedeur's the same way, but just you got to remember, his dad, Shedeur Sanders, that man practically invented swag. So we got to just sit there and remember, like, you got this whole thing that funnels from mindset, that funnels from existence around him, the family, the mindset, the goals, the drive. It's just got to be there. In order to be one of the greatest, you got to want to be the greatest, and you got to think like you're the greatest. So that's what I think Shedeur needs to continue to do, but also I think he needs to remember that it's work time, and I hope he gets going here. So just wanted to kind of put the brakes on that, but we're struggling today. So I just want to go ahead and kind of talk about the most important part, and I'm just gonna take a water break. But chat, what's good? What are we doing, chat? How are we? What's up, chat? Y'all good? You know what I mean? I'm just trying to check in with y'all. Glad to hear you're good. Hell yeah. So we got to talk about this though, right? We got. I believe, I don't know if Slattery is actually a safety. I saw him listed as a DB / like kind of nickel safety. So I'd be curious to kind of see what we're doing, because that would be, I think we got like 4 in the past like day, or 3 in the past like day. So we got the Auburn safety, we got, or day, I apologize, portal run, and then Slattery and Noah. So like, I'm thinking Slattery's gotta be a defensive back, and then maybe I don't know, but really, let's just talk, family, about this man right here, Larry Johnston. 6'7", 348. Man, that's a tow truck. You know, like that's a tow truck. That is length and size of a tow truck. He's picking you up and taking you to the station. Your car, he's got it. Don't worry. Like, we're really talking about a man that's just gonna pick up. I'm scared for anybody that has to face this man. He's got to be starting. He's got to be starting. So, I mean, between the pickups I'm seeing right now, all I know is our offensive lineman room is getting to work, and Gunner is getting in there, and I know we've got some NFL veterans in there making some moves. So, I just got to say, I'm very excited to kind of see what we got going on, and what kind of happens. Let me see position, man. There we go. Baby. All right. So we got 6'4", 315. Like, come on now. We're starting to build. And this is, by the way, let's just talk about this. Everybody that's sitting there saying, oh, see you ain't doing nothing this year. Look at this. We've gotten several, and I mean several tackles from SEC. Now, arguably, okay, now we just don't want to load. Arguably, we got some big boys too. We got some big boys. Xavier Hill, not an SEC guy, but big boys. And then you got Seton at the end. So I'm ecstatic to kind of see what we're putting together here. I mean, if you had to put a starting five together, Seton, Xavier, those two big boys from the SEC, and I believe we just gonna have to see. And then obviously Mana, I'm thinking he's gonna be one too. Man, it's like, this is what I'm talking about, man. Just give me this. As a CU fan, this is the type of line that you love to see start to build up. You love to see the SEC talent coming in. You love to see these tow trucks of men coming on in. Gotcha. I'm servicing you. They might as well be, late night service, charging on the clock, because these boys are about to create some gaps. They are about to create some gaps, and I'm excited. And if we don't, I just got to say, we don't run the ball this year, I'm going to be shocked. I've said it before. Caden Salter is a quarterback that is versatile and mobile, and even more so than Shedeur. And I see Shedeur as a fantastic NFL style quarterback, and Caden Salter is a 1-2-3, bang, up, run, move, get out of the pocket. That wasn't Shedeur. He's sitting in the pocket. Now, when arguably you're looking at things, you've got to look at the perspective of how things are going to continue to go. I'm ecstatic to see how things are gonna play out this season. But chat, if you want to smash the like button, subscribe, do whatever you got to do, because I love you. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. I got to go watch my Nuggets and Avs. So, unfortunately, I appreciate y'all. But